Okay, welcome to the first episode, Turn My City Up podcast. Let me show y'all something, man. I see this on my arm, so y'all see I'm serious about the brand, man. I could probably barely see it, but this is for the people that will watch the video when I put the video out. But I have a Turn My City Up tattoo. But yeah, man. Welcome to the first episode. People been telling me to start mines. I just been waiting on some things, but it's time to get it started. My first, this first episode, I'll be by myself for now, but most of these, like, I'm gonna have somebody on here with me. I'll try to have I'll have different guests maybe every time. Obviously, a lot of the same guests to come on more than one time, But right now, this first episode is gonna start out with me. Um, so yeah, y'all at the end, let me know how y'all like it, man. Let me know audio is good. Like I said, I probably had a video out for. I'll put one on YouTube for a video too, but we're just gonna get right into it on what I want to talk about because the playing games are today, and we're gonna talk about the playoff matchups, playing games. We're gonna talk about the Sun season a little bit. Even though I do that, shout out my guys on Suns and them podcasts. I also do a podcast with. So we've been talking a little bit about the regular season, all that, and going into the playoffs. But first I want to get into. I got this from RB on Twitter. Y'all know who RB is on Twitter, man. Shout out RB. Um, I want to give what my grade is for the Suns this season. I'll give them a B plus, like I said on Twitter, because all season, like, our stars, which our main stars are Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, like, they didn't even like really get to play a lot together this season, and it kind of like we had a stretch where we had a lot of the bench in and deep in the bench playing the games, and it was a stretch where we were losing a lot. Mikal was the main guy, and I think that obviously I think that stretch helped him be who he is right now today, where he's like, he looked like he's gonna be one of the best scorers in the league, efficient too. Looking efficient over there in Brooklyn. Miss my guy and all, but it was best for both sides. Um, I'm keeping his jersey. Guys get traded. Some guys, they'll get rid of the jerseys. I'm keeping his jersey. I have the Valley Mikal jersey. I'm keeping that for sure. Hopefully, I can get it signed by him one day, even though he's not on the Suns anymore. But hopefully, I can get it signed by him. But yeah, back into the point. So the stars weren't playing a lot. So like I said, we had the stretch where the bench was playing a lot together, and it was terrible. Obviously, it looked awful. We had fans. It was ugly this year. It was a lot of arguing. Suns Twitter always arguing for some reason, but for my part, it's always love. I'm not trying to I don't dislike nobody over basketball. There's some people obviously that think I have, because when I do, that's because I think you're taking it outside of basketball. But even then, like, I don't got no hate or no nothing for like some of these people. There's a lot of people on there like I disagree with a lot, but we still cool. I support their content. They supporting me, starting to do my content and all that. So I rock with people like that. Don't take the basketball takes, even if you disagree, like, personal. But we were like I said, we was terrible. It was a stretch. It was a stretch where we were not winning games, bro, at all. So but on the flip side though, like, the bench actually did, like, they was kind of like they was doing their best, bro. They was holding it down. That's when I was like, because I was kind of hard on the bench too the start of the season, but they was losing these games, but they was just showing, like, when guys got back, like, the team would be good, because the team was good too. Like, we were top of the West, like, when we were healthy and booking all them, we were like actually playing. Same thing with the Pelicans. Like, Pelicans top of the West, they stars got hurt and they fell off like we did. We just didn't fall as far as them. Luckily, um, we had a few winning streaks. Like it wasn't long winning streaks, but it's like it kept us afloat. It kept us like right there in the middle of the West, so we wasn't dropping. Then luckily too, the West was so terrible at the same time we were terrible, so we wasn't losing no. We wasn't losing no ground because the West was just terrible at the same time we was terrible. Um, yeah, so they held it out for that, and then obviously as they're holding it down, we was winning. Then we got healthy, Book and them came back. Mikal was turning the corner. Aiden was playing good. Paul was coming back. We was winning games. Cam Johnson came back because he was hurt a lot of season too. I forgot to mention that he was hurt. He had that knee injury, but he came back. We started winning games, getting some traction again. Obviously, we looked good. Was winning games. We went and beat Boston in Boston. And I believe that game too. I don't even think Book was back yet. Yeah, Book wasn't even back yet. We wouldn't beat Boston in Boston. That's when I knew too. That game was telling me like Mikal was here because that was against, obviously, y'all know how good the Celtics been this year. Y'all know how good Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are. Mikal went there and played really, really well against them, really well, and we won that game. Um, so we're doing good. Obviously, the big thing is, which I didn't think was gonna happen, but first it started with, obviously, Kyrie one and out. Kyrie ended up going to the Mavs. Everyone knows that follows me. I was upset because I wanted to go get Kyrie because I didn't think we was gonna be able to get Kevin. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think that. I thought before we was gonna be able to get Kevin, but then I was just like, I think the dream is dead. Um, then you know, Matt Ishbia made it happen. Obviously, all that happened. The trade deadline, Kyrie ended up going there. Um, Me, like I said, I didn't think it was happening. I thought we was gonna make moves, but I didn't think we was gonna go get Kevin. Like I said, the reports are coming out that like it looked like our backup plan was gonna be like John Collins. Like he's cool and all, but I just don't think like it would. Whatever we did probably wouldn't have moved the needle, obviously, as much as getting a top two player, top 2, 3 player in the league. Um, we went back. HBO made it happen, bro. Um, then that started some arguments. The Suns Twitter too, because Mikal and Cam were loved here, bro. They always going to be loved here. They was part of that team that went to the finals, bro. A lot of our teams, haven't been to a final. So a team that has players that was on the team when you went to the finals, bro, they're gonna be loved in the city, bro. And then just like they personalities and they bond with the rest of the team. Like this team's really close, bro. That's why you could tell like even out here Book and Aiden and them like when it happened, like obviously they excited about KD, but they also was sad see their brothers go because like I said that team is really close, but. That started some arguments too. People wondering like, oh, we shouldn't have did it, all that. Like, I think that's crazy. Like, as much as you love them dudes, though, as much as we love the twins, Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant, and the goal is a championship. And I think he's gonna help us get one. But um, yeah, so that happened. You know, we had to wait for K to come back. But even then, like I said, we was holding it down. Booking it was trying to hold it down. Um, So we just get a B plus just because it was part of the season. Like Suns fans know, we look terrible. People was making fun of us. We was trash, but a lot of that time too when people make fun of us, oh, like Suns are done. Like people were happy, like, oh, I'm happy to see the Sun demise. Like, bro, we was hurt. Like we was hurt, and even if we didn't, bro, if we didn't get hurt, and even if we didn't get KD this year, we still would have been top of the West. Like we still that nice. Mikal and them was getting better too. Like we still would have been a contender. We wouldn't have been as good and as dangerous, but we still would have been a contender. Just to, you could see now like the corner that Mikal is turning, and Aiden is Aiden averaged 18 this year. I don't think he haven't averaged 18 since his rookie year. His numbers is gonna suffer a little bit obviously when KD here, but his impact and stuff is he's still gonna get better. It's not always about numbers, especially when you got two stars like KD and Book. Then you got Chris Paul too. Like that's a Hall of Fame point guard, top 5 in my opinion ever. I know a lot of people think I don't like Chris Paul. I be slandering dude. Like, myself don't be slandered. It's just you got to be real at like his age, and a lot of the times too. It's not even like I'm blaming him. It's just a lot of times I'm blaming the team, like the organization, where I feel like we should be protecting him more. He shouldn't. But now with Kevin there, it's gonna be a lot easier. And like I said, his life out there gonna be great, bro. He'll be getting wide open spot up shots. He's gonna be hitting them like we seen that last game they actually played in the regular season. He hit with like 7 threes spot up. Like, and it's crazy. All season, even last year, like what's called, I've been saying like that's the change in this game I want to see. Taking him off ball. Cause like I said, that's what happens. You get older, bro. You gotta get off ball. You gotta become a spot up, save your energy. And now he can do that. And he's showing he can do it too. So I think if teams this playoffs, be leaving Chris open, I think he gonna make him pay, bro. He not gonna be as wore down like he has these last couple playoffs because he had to be, the other guy. Now he don't have to be the other guy at all. He don't even really got to be the third guy because Aiden could be the third guy. So yeah, so I gave him a B. They held it down when every time we needed to hold it down and just like win a couple games, so we didn't just slip. we did it. Even though if we was injured all year, even though it was the KD, freak injury with his ankle and warm ups, we held it down then. Like I said, we was losing these games. Like a lot of this year when we were struggling, it really had to do with injury. It didn't really have to do nothing with like, the team was just playing bad. Like it's always gonna be a combination of both. Like there's some games like we should have won even when we was injured, and the team just didn't play well. Like that happens obviously, but a lot of this struggles and stretches was literally just the team being hurt. Um, I give us a B plus for that. Let me move on. Let's. So the play-in games are today. So I'm gonna tell y'all like who I believe is going to win. Um, Me personally, let's start with the East ones. So today we got Hawks Heat. Then tomorrow for the East, we got Bulls Raptors. I would like to see. I don't even know how I would like to see make it out of the Hawks and the Heat. I guess I don't really care. I think I think the Heat will beat them. I feel like the Hawks is just I don't know. I feel like they're just all over the place, and I just feel like the Heat, Jimmy Butler and them, I'm gonna just ride with them. I just feel like the Hawks will easily beat them though, because I feel like people have been disrespecting Trae Young a little too much these last couple of years. Like Trae has his flaws, and he's a smaller guard too. So smaller guards always gonna have their flaws, but he's legit, like bro. He legit like a 30-10 dude. Like we just can't ignore that. Like he gets to wherever he wants on the court on anybody, and he's a great and elite playmaker. I would say so. You can't count them out. I just feel like the Heat will probably win that, but I would personally want to see Trae in it though, just because I feel like people have been disrespecting Trae. So I want to see Trae get in and see Trae and make some noise again, because Trae and them made noise before in the playoff. People seem to forget that Trae and them beat Embiid and the 76 and all them. So I know that was a different Sixers team at that time, but they still beat them. So it is what it is. So, but I think the Heat end up winning and getting that spot, and I think the Heat end up playing the Celtics, who they always gonna give trouble. The Heat is always gonna get in trouble. I think the Celtics was end up winning that series, but the Heat is gonna get in trouble just because they always do. Like that, it's like they got a little rivalry going on over there, and they always, they know each other. So I think the Heat end up getting in on that in those plans. And then Bulls Raptors, oh, that's tough one just too, because the Raptors guard really well, but that's just some nights too. I feel like they ain't got enough offense, but they guard to where they gonna stay in the game, especially against the Bulls. And the Bulls are like, who I would want to win that too, as everybody knows I'm a Levine fan too. So I want Zach to get in. I want Zach and him to get in and make some noise, but I think that would mean, let me see who the Bulls or Raptors will play. They would end up playing probably the Bucks. So whoever plays that, obviously, I believe they're going to go on and end up losing to the Bucks. It's funny though, because if the Raptors make it, the Raptors I think Giannis will struggle with that dang series. Like his efficiency will drop just because of the Raptors. We know how Nick Nurse is, and the Raptors got the athletes and the length and all of that to guard anybody and frustrate stars. That's what the Raptors number one goal, I feel like, to be, is to frustrate stars and take them out the game, make somebody else beat you. Unfortunately, then for them, the Bucks have guys that will beat you if you're just gonna load up on Giannis. So it's not a bad strategy though. I would try to make the other guys beat you too. So, but dang, I don't know. This Bulls Raptors one's hard. I really don't know who's gonna win that one. I'm gonna go with the Bulls though. I think the Raptors have they'll have some stretches where their offense, I just feel like it's just disgusting. They can't score, and I think the Bulls got guys that just, even though the Raptors really good on defense, I think Bulls got guys that just can go crazy, like DeMar and Levine, obviously. My boy Kobe White can catch fire sometimes. So I'm gonna go with the Bulls. I think the Bulls are going to play the Bucks again like they have. And then, obviously I think the Bucks will win now, obviously. All right, let's go to the West. So today, the West, we got Timberwolves, Lakers. Timberwolves have lost three key players. They lost his dang name is slipped my dang mind. His name is lit. I just had his name in my dang head. Okay, we gonna skip over here right now. But Jaden McDaniels punched the wall, broke his hand. On some foolery. That's insane that he even did that. Then Rudy Gobert, we know, Rudy Gobert, threw the punch at his teammate Kyle. I'm gonna say like I've been saying on Twitter. I believe, I think Rudy's getting a lot of. I'm not saying he shouldn't. I think Rudy's getting a lot of the slander or whatever you want to call it, whatever the word you want to use. But I think I think if the reports are true, I think Kyle in the wrong too. If he freaking you call me out my name, dude. You got to be you gotta expect a punch, bro. You can't. They saying like you can't swing. That's not tolerated, teammate. But I don't think calling your teammate the word they said he called him. I don't think that should be tolerated either. I know it's not his words and it's not he's getting physical, but you can't like bro. You can't be punching on people, bro. You can't be punching on people. You can't be and you can't be calling especially your teammates, man. You can't be calling the teammates out their name, bro. I know y'all getting heated and all that is happening, but you can't be. Yeah, you can't. You can't do that either. So I was like, Rudy getting a lot of the slander, but I think what's causing it wrong too. Nas Reed, that's his name. Nas Reed. I just Nas Reed got hurt against us. Trying to dunk on Biamo, which he almost did, which sucks. He's having a great year. He might not end up on the Timberwolves next year because I feel like somebody's gonna pay him because he's nice. He's legit. He legit can score from everywhere. Um, So for me, obviously, just because of all that, it ain't gonna be easy. I can see this one go anyway because I think Lakers' main issue is I think they have the same issue I feel like my sons have sometimes with like them quicker guards. Like it's hard for us to stay in front of them. We're a little. I think we have a guy that's a little better than they have though, because I feel like Okogie's one of the better guys that's staying in front of people, and then they got they have Vando over there, but the problem with me, like I've been saying on Twitter too, with the Lakers for them is like Vando's offense is like they're not nobody guards him. They're not guarding the guy. So certain matchups, like certain teams, I think they can get away with it on the Timberwolves. But I think if they like when they start playing like those other like real contenders, I think there's gonna be a lot of the times where Vando's gonna have to be out of the game because you're gonna let like the teams that are actually contenders that can guard, you're gonna allow like them to basically load up on AD and Bron, and that's just gonna make it harder for them. And then it's gonna be relying on they spacing. Lakers are the past couple years, the spacing has been terrible. So I just feel like they probably shouldn't have him out there versus certain teams. But I think they'll get away with it versus Timberwolves and they'll beat the Timberwolves. I don't think it'll be easy. Obviously, the only way I feel like the Timberwolves will win is if Cat's gonna have to go crazy. Like he's gonna have to be spreading. Like he's gonna have to be hitting threes. The rest of them, Conley and them, all of them gonna have to be hitting threes. Because if they do that, especially Cat, they're gonna have to try to pull AD out the paint and Ant just let Ant go crazy at the rim because he's gonna be able to get to the rim when he wants to because they probably gonna try to have Vando on him sometimes, but those other guys like Reeves and like all those other dudes like they don't stand a chance against these like other star like wings or twos, and he's gonna get to the rim when he wants to. The Lakers probably counter is to probably maybe put a wing on Cat if they can, so that AD doesn't get pulled away from the rim, but we'll see. I'm interested. I'm glad that game today. I'm interested to see what they do with that. But I think the Lakers are gonna beat them. I would have had it. I would have. I don't know. I probably would still pick the Lakers maybe if the Timberwolves had that guy, but I think it would have been a toss up. The Timberwolves are good. They defend too, just like the Lakers defend. The Timberwolves defend, and they got Ant is the truth, a real two-way guy, real two-way star. He's gonna be I think he'll be right there with Book as like one of the top like shooting guards in the league. I think Book is one right now, obviously, but I think Ant will be up there. Then, this is a good one too. Tomorrow will be the Thunder and Pelicans, and I don't. That's a good one too. That's a good one too. I'll say, I'm leaning towards the Pelicans. I'm leaning toward my boy Willie Green and them, and both of the teams are young, but the Pelicans got a little. The Pelicans got a little more experience because they went to the playoffs. Ended up playing with us in a tough series. They ended up losing, but it was a tough series, and they actually pushed us. And then my thing is, though, that can go either anyway because for the Pelicans, basically, like Bi has to be like if Bi has like just an off night, like the Pelicans struggle, bro. Like that's the main reason why they fail is because without Zion and Bi, like scoring, like nobody else is really picking up like the scoring load over there. So if like Bi is like off his game, like I even think the Thunder got like more reliable like guys outside of SGA like scoring the ball. Like that rookie, like Jalen Williams is him. He's him, bro. So you know what? Like I was leaning Pels, but I might have just talked myself into the Thunder. The Thunder might beat them in this game. I think the Thunder will beat them in this game. It's gonna be it's basically gonna be the SGA versus Bi show. That's really what it's gonna come down to. The way SGA plays to me is like the same way people used to be frustrated about Harden like fouling, like foul baiting and all that. That's how I feel about SGA sometimes. Because Jesus Christ, boy, he's a bucket though. He's tough, but yeah, I might pick the Thunder though. Pelicans, I ain't gonna get all into it, but the Pelicans and the Zion thing, and it's just like Zion is just like unfortunately just never there at the end of the season. Like when they going into the playoffs or playing, he's just not there. And it's sucking. Like I said, that's your number one pick, bro. You need him. It's just like they ain't gonna get rid of him no time soon. They shouldn't get close to talking about that yet. But if this keeps happening like a couple more years, dude, like it's gonna like them conversations gonna stop popping up. They gonna be like, all right, should we like move this guy? Like he's never on the court. We need him the most. Like I got the Thunder. I know a lot of people, love Bi on Twitter and what's called, so they're gonna be mad at me about that. But I actually respect Bi because he was actually cooking us in that series too. Like, he's getting buckets. That showed me I was like, he's the truth. But I'm gonna go with the Thunder in that game. All right, so now let me see. Now I'll do the playoff matchups that are actually set because some of the stuff we don't know because of playing stuff. So some of the ones I'll talk about. There's a few I'm gonna leave. Obviously, the ones that still are pending because of the playing. So let's see. Let's see some of the ones that are actually a lock. Okay, Philly, Brooklyn. I got Philly. I think Mikhail's gonna have a big series though. They're gonna lose just because I think the Nets ain't got enough. They ain't got enough size really to deal with Embiid, and Embiid's probably going. Not even probably. Embiid's gonna have his way. Claxton's a really good defender, but he's just the size. He's a skinnier guy, and Embiid's just gonna be moving him around and beat them. But I think Mikhail's gonna eat that series, and I hope he does. And that's gonna really show people too, like his leap is real. I think he's gonna eat that series because who's really gonna match up with Mikhail and guard him over there in Philly? Philly's a good defensive team. Don't get me wrong, but I think Mikhail's gonna have a big series. I think Brooklyn could scare them though if the other guys are making like Cam got to be hitting his shots. Cam Johnson, Joe Harris got to be hitting his shots, and Spencer Dinwiddie got to hoop because he's really like the only real like point guard like playmaker guy. He's really the only one. So if he eats and is like making everything else easier, then I could see them. I could see the Nets maybe stealing 2 games, but I could also see them getting smoked in like 5 though. But 5 like good games though, so I could see that. Sacramento and Golden State. Um, obviously, I think a lot of people are disrespecting Sacramento. I think that series is gonna be closer than people think. I'm gonna lean the Warriors just because it's hard not to, but I actually think that's more of a toss up than people think. Like I'm not even that like confident that I'm gonna pick the Warriors to win just because of experience, obviously. But I don't think it's just like it's just that easy to pick them. Like I'm not that confident that they're gonna beat them just because. But the only reason I giving them the Warriors some slide is the same reason like for us. We're like a lot of the time we were struggling this year is because we was hurt, and the Warriors wasn't even like I guess they wasn't really hurt. Like a lot of the year they did, like they did miss Steph a lot of the year though too. Some of this year too though, but Even when like they had their three like main, their guys, Steph, Draymond, Clay, like they were still terrible on the road. And I know their road record versus like the 500 teams is so bad too. So that's why I said that series could go either way, just because of the Kings. That Kings crowd is gonna be insane. It's gonna be like how when the Suns crowd was when we came back. Like both of those cities, bro. Those crowds are insane when their teams are actually good. So I'm gonna go with the Warriors, and I might even go with the Warriors in 7 in that. It might go 7. That's one of the series where I feel like, dude, I could go 7, or the Warriors could just lock in, and the inexperience of the Sacramento show, and they beat them in dang 5, 6. Oh, that's not gonna happen though. I respect Darren Fox and Sabonis and them too. That offense is too good to where I don't think they're gonna get smoked. Like they score too well. Golden State guards, but it's still hard. Even the good defensive teams have a hard time guarding the Sacramento Kings. So I'm gonna go Warriors in 7. Um, Let me see. Then let's do Cleveland and New York. I think that might be my favorite series, the first round series. That might end up being my favorite first round series. Just because outside of that Sacramento Golden State one gonna be cool too because of the scoring. But I'm not even a guy I'm not like a high offensive. Like I don't love the high offense games where they scoring a million points. I really don't. I like the games where people are getting stops, defense. Maybe I'm getting old. I'm have my old head, but that's what I like. So, um, who I have winning that? I want to pick Cleveland. My issue with Cleveland is though, like they have no wings, like at all to me. I feel like they're a team full of like they're the same way I feel about Memphis, where their team like they have really good guards. They have a dynamic guard, and then everybody like the rest of they like really good players are like power forwards and like centers, like no real wings on either of those teams. Um, it's not like the Knicks have. I guess the Knicks have more like wing players because they have RJ. They got Fournier. I guess Fournier even like he's like a guard slash wing, I guess, whatever. But that's a tough one. That one to me, the X factor would be Julius Randle. Because Julius Randle could either look like a dang near a superstar sometimes, or he could look just terrible. But I think with Jalen Brunson being there, I think it's gonna make Randle be good, be way better, and he that might go 7 too. That might go 7. You know what? I'm gonna pick the Knicks in that. I'm picking the Knicks. I think Donovan Mitchell's gonna eat though. Like he's gonna cook them, and if they end up winning, it's gonna be because Donovan Mitchell's cooking them, and Darius Garland, is doing his thing. I'm gonna pick the Knicks though. I think most people are gonna pick Cleveland. Cleveland team with a better record at a higher seed. I'm gonna pick the Knicks. I think the Knicks are gonna win the series. I know the Knicks fans that rock with me gonna like that, but I'm pick the Knicks. Then obviously I'm gonna pick my Suns. Not just because we're freaking. That's my team. Like if I thought people know me, though. I'm not gonna lie. If I feel like we're gonna lose a series, I'm saying we're gonna lose a series. I thought we was gonna like when we're going into when we went on our finals run and going into the finals, I thought we was gonna lose. Suns won the first 2 games. Then they changed my mind. Cause obviously that's my team. I'm getting high. I'm like, okay, we up 2-0. Then what happened. But when I'm going into the thing, I thought we was gonna lose just because I feel like I said when I was bringing up like the Chris Paul thing, like it's a nice fault, but he's a little older dude, and you're asking him to be that second guy. It's just hard for somebody his age. Like we should be trying to protect him from that and have him as like the third guy. Like I said, Book did his thing in that finals. Looked like a superstar, which I know he is. But I'm gonna pick us in 6. I could see us beating them in 5. We're locked in because I believe without Paul George, like I think it's gonna be harder for them to score. They still have guys that can score, but they're gonna need like Powell and Bones Highland and guys like that, like Zubac to do his thing. Like they're gonna need all that. That guy's gonna be having making threes, but two of them are making threes. But I think for them, it's gonna be harder to score on us without Paul George. Like they need Paul George's offense too. Kawhi gonna do his thing, but at the end of the day, Kawhi gonna be doing his thing. But what you think Book and KD gonna be doing on the other end? What you think Aiden gonna be doing on the other end? And we got dudes like, we got guys off the bench too that can score. Like TJ, I believe TJ and Terrence Ross gonna have games in the playoffs where they flip a game and it flips the series, or one of them go crazy and have a 20-point game off the bench. People keep trying to talk about our depth, and we have guys that's capable, guys that's in this league, that's been in this league that are in this league for scoring that have exploded before, and those guys are on the bench. TJ has in the time where he was getting his chance, but he showed he still has that he can score. Terrence Ross, he's only been here since we picked him up from the Magic, where he had a 30-point game versus Sacramento, and that was in Sacramento. I was on the road. Like our depth is fine, bro. We have guys too that's had great playoff games in the playoffs, like campaign versus the Clippers, West Conference Finals. Looking like a starting point guard, bro. Like our depth is fine, bro. Like I said, your depth shrinks anyways. Like people keep using that as, like I said, we not unbeatable, bro. Anybody in the West can be beat. Anybody in the West can be beat, and that includes us. But people got to leave that depth thing alone. I think that's a bad example of why we would lose. I think if we end up losing, I think for us it would actually be we're not getting stops, because I already told y'all before, like I feel like sometimes we struggle to keep the ball in front of us sometimes. But it's cool. But also, like our two best players, I believe in them guarding. Book and KD can guard. Both of them are above average defenders. People don't ever want to give Book that credit, but Book in the finals, where you go look at the matchup data, you go actually watch that series. He was our best Drew defender, and he was our best Chris Middleton defender. Both of them were having trouble scoring because Book's strong, bro. He's strong. He can move his feet. Like Book is a two-way player too, and people don't ever want to give him that. But Book is a great two-way player. He's more than people just going to give him his offense. He's one of the best scorers in the league. He's one of the best two-way players in the league that we can guard. But like I said, if we lose, it'll be for me. I think when we get in trouble, it will be like I said, guys are gonna try to target Chris because of his age, and it's kind of hard for us to and when you're not stopping ball, that's just leaving like where your defense is in rotation, scrambling mode, and guys getting open threes and they getting dump off for dunks. I think that would be the reason why. And two, if like let's say like when we went to the finals and Giannis is just getting us in foul trouble, getting Da in foul trouble. If it's like to the point where he's getting in too much foul trouble, and it's another big team, and we have to play Landale or Busy too many minutes. If we have to play them too many minutes, that can get us in trouble too. I can see us that affecting the series. So those two things, getting stops versus certain teams, matchups, but I don't think it got anything to do like just because our depth isn't good. Like with them guys that can play, because we do. Let me see. I'll do the potential ones too. So, tough. So I'm not. That's a toss. That's another one of the series where I don't know, but I'm just gonna lean Lakers just because of the LeBron factor. Um, then I think Minnesota end up getting in too. Like I said, a lot of this stuff we don't know because of playing stuff. I know I picked who I think is gonna win, like their first play in game matchups and all that, but a lot can still happen because then they still got to play like the other seed, like the 9 seed or 10 seed, whatever it is, the case may be. Um, I think Minnesota get in, and they'll probably end up playing. Like I said, it's kind of hard to do this, but I think they'll end up the 8 seed because I think the Lakers end up keeping the 7. I think Minnesota end up the 8 seed, and I think they'll. Ooh, that's a good series too. If Rudy comes back though, I'm gonna pick Denver, but that's a good series. I think that'll go 7-2 because Minnesota guards and they're gonna give Jokic hell, and they're gonna make them guard because Cat's gonna make whoever's at the four, whatever guard them or whatever. But I'll pick that. But let's see. Like I said, I already said too. I think Miami's gonna end up keeping the 7. They're gonna end up playing Boston. I think Boston will beat them in a tough 6. I just don't think Miami don't have enough offense, and the Celtics guard really well. But I feel like it's still every year Jimmy Butler has to do a little too much on offense. Bam has gotten better on offense, but still I don't think that's enough. Tyler Hero got a hoop though. If he's right and healthy, he got a hoop. He's another X factor. Even now, I just don't think they got enough. Then Milwaukee, I don't think the Hawks are gonna get in. Personally, I think the Hawks are gonna. Like I said, I don't think they're gonna get in. They're the AC right now, but I feel like the Bulls because I think the Bulls will end up. I think the Bulls will end up getting in the playoffs, and then I think the Bulls will end up playing the Bucks, and the Bucks will beat the Bulls. So that's what I think will happen. But we'll see. Like I said, the playing games are today. Can't wait to watch those. I'm gonna try to have this episode out because I'm recording it today. Just playing it today, like I said. So I'll try to have this episode out before those games drop and they play, so everybody can see my predictions and all that, and we'll go from there. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try to get some special guests. Maybe you try to get, if I get, I got some connections. Maybe even try to get some players on here, man. I wouldn't want to try to get them during the playoffs. So me personally, because guys gonna be locked in. So but I'm gonna keep doing this all through the playoffs. But regular, off season and all that. That's what I'm gonna try to. Hey, let me try to get a player or two on the pod. So I want to say shout out my boy Paul. He the one who got me connected with Eddie and them anyways. Shout out Eddie. Well, Eddie Gonzalez. Shout out Katie. All of them. Shout out Boardroom. Having me and my boy Savage. Go out there. We help work on the Ceteris podcast. It's really fun. Um, I'm not really got I guess like starstruck or anything, but you'll just think like dang, I'm in like Kevin Durant house, bro. Like helping him with the podcast is still like kind of crazy. Especially that's one of your favorite players growing up. Like you just think about you there helping them. They know you by name. You cool with them. Shout them out. Shout out to them, man. I'm definitely gonna get Eddie on here soon, but shout out to them, man. It's gonna be fun. Working with them and continue to work with them over the off season and all that. And what's called. We love to see Katie. Embracing. Being here in Arizona. He was at the D-backs game last night wearing a. I'm a dude too. Like I'm still kind of more of a casual baseball guy, but I'm learning. And this guy's name, what's his name? Corbin Carroll, guys. Is that his name? Let me look. I think KB was. I think the guy's name is Corbin. That's how you guys know I'm not that much of a baseball guy. Yeah, Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll. Yeah, KD had on the Corbin. Look, you put in Corbin Carroll on on Google, and it immediately brings up Kevin Durant supports rising star Corbin Carroll at D-backs game. Like stuff like that's dope. Like all the Arizona teams here be supporting each other. It was funny the Coyotes, our hockey team, comment on KD's tweet like, oh yeah, our last game's like Thursday. If you want to like pull through, like that is funny to me. But yeah, like I said, shout out to them. I'm be learning from helping them with their podcast and absorbing all the knowledge I can from them. From they're doing things like I want to do, what I want to do, like career wise and like make money, like something. Like everybody knows I love basketball, so why not try to make money off like talking basketball? I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm watching. I know a lot of people. Like I said, we're gonna have a lot of guests on here. A lot. There's a lot of people on Twitter, like people that I believe I deserve some attention. They're really good at the content they make. So it's a lot of people on there I want to talk about. So we'll probably have a guest already on my second episode. Like I said, my first episode, I said I was gonna do Dolo. And I'm gonna wrap it up. Appreciate y'all for checking out this first episode. I hope everything sounds good. I hope y'all, you know, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all give me some, like I said, don't be afraid to give me some tips, man. Don't afraid to be like, oh, you could do this better. This could be better, Just DM your boy, let me know on Twitter. Even on the TL, you ain't even got DM me. Just, let me know. I can take criticism. Try to fix it and get it right. But I said it's my first episode. Appreciate y'all coming through the Turn My City Up podcast. We're gonna end it there. Like I said, hit me up on Twitter. I don't know who my next guest is gonna be for my second episode, but I'll have someone up here. I have a couple people in mind, but I'll have someone up here. But I'm out.